Now, we live in a very technological and digital age, and while there are innumerable and obvious benefits to living in the world as a mobile supercomputer, there are an equal number of possible risks. So how can we be sure that we're using our mobile technology safely? Well, here with me in the studio to tell us more about his solution to this question is Yuval Rapaport, the CEO and co-founder of SafeMobile. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
So tell me, what does SafeMobile do?
Well, basically it lets our kids, enjoy and explore the World Wide Web, the virtual world, if you will, while keeping them safe, because there are a lot of perils out there. There's malicious content, drugs, sex abuse, pornography, of course. Huge problem with gambling. Gambling sites and apps are a terrible problem. So we make sure that they use all the good stuff on the web without getting access to the bad stuff.
So I guess my first question, following that up is, how does it work? How does it identify these threats, properly? And second, how is it different than, another firewall or parent lock or something like that?
Right. It's interestingly enough that you raise a firewall example, because it actually works in a very similar way. The way it works is that we route all traffic from our kids, from our subscribers to our servers, which act as a sort of a firewall, right?
Okay.
And then we scan for keywords as well as categories. So every website, every app needs to declare itself or assign itself a category: gambling, porn, and so on.
Sure.
And then we block that out. We also try to understand, we hired some very smart people, and they try to understand context, because sometimes it's not enough to have a keyword, because keywords can have double meanings or even triple meanings.
Yeah, typically the drug dealer doesn't say, "Hey, I deal drugs."
Exactly.
Right.
So a couple of years ago, actually our algorithm identified bananas as a code word for drugs.
That's actually really amazing.
It is.
So okay, how did you come up with the idea? How was it developed?
Well, first of all, I'm a parent. I have four amazing kids. My oldest is 10. She just got her first smartphone, and it really is a huge part of their lives right now. But interestingly enough, we actually started in a completely different segment, which is religious communities. They wanted to use smartphones, and be able to use the web without compromising their way of life, obviously.
So this was kind of an answer to that.
Exactly. And then we thought about, look, if we're doing that so successfully here, what's the next, what's the next crowd, what's the next market for us, which obviously is much larger.
Incredible.
So, yeah.
Now, how customizable are the settings of what this app blocks and what it doesn't?
So we actually took a sort of a marketing decision. And we operate under one-size-fits-all model. So we have linguists and psychologists advising us on what should and should not be accessed.
Okay.
But it's a very simple app. You just download it, you install it, fire and forget, and it just works. And we actually pride ourselves in that. So it's very easy to use.
Now, so if I'm understanding this correctly, the application itself, once installed on the device, acts as an intermediary of content.
It will route all traffic to our servers, and then we do our magic.
So does that slow things down? Does it add any kind of issue?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We take a lot of pride in that. It's super fast. Typically kids will not actually notice that they're being protected. It's that good.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It is.
So when and where will SafeMobile be available?
Right. So it's available now on here in Israel. Rami Levy Communications are our major reseller for SafeMobile, and we're just about to break out into the U.S. market. In fact.
That's incredible.
Yes.
All right. And what's next? That's the big question.
Right. So let me just before we move forward, let's just talk a little bit for where we began. So we began in Haifa here in Israel. We were backed by High Center Ventures. It's a local incubator in Haifa, and then we were lucky enough to get the trust of two venture capital firms, River Park Ventures from New York and the Besadno Group from Jerusalem. And the next step for us is to move from seed to what we call round A, right? So it's the next huge round of finance that we are working on right now. We're just about to launch our crowdfunding campaign on a platform called Exit Valley.
Okay.
So we welcome everybody to join us, join our success on that.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Yuval Rapaport from SafeMobile.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.